Hello everyone, how you folks doing? My name is Armando. Welcome back to my channel. This is another case of unsolved murders in Hawaii. And in this particular one, we'll be talking about the unsolved murder of Helen E. Correa. And just to give you a little bit of background of her before we get into it, Helen E. Correa was born in Pennsylvania on April 2nd, 1962, to parents Brillantino and Roby Correa. Helen has two brothers and two sisters. She was described as independent, confident, stubborn, and strong. And she was very self-sufficient. She earned money by working at a craft center. Now, Helen and her family were strong believers in their faith. They were members of Trinity United Methodist Church in Pearl City, Hawaii, and I believe her mother was also a pastor over there, Reverend Correa. Okay, now, on a Sunday morning, this is October 7th now of 1984, Helen took communion that morning of her death. She made coffee and juice for the Trinity United Methodist Church and swayed in rhythm to the upbeat gospel music. Now, a keys to the church dangled from a long chain around her neck. Okay, so the whole family attended services at the Trinity United Methodist Church. After church that morning, Helen rushed out to meet, and she was excited to meet one of her friends in Waipahu. This was the last time her family would ever see her alive, sadly. Now, Helen was last seen near a bus stop near the gem store. Okay. And she did not return home that night, and the parents were very worried. The next day, the parents got a call from the coroner's office stating that they believe they found their daughter's body. Okay. Now, the father answered the phone first, but gave the phone to the mother, Roby. And Roby Correa asked them to repeat it again to her, what they told her father. And she was placed on hold about 3 times. So you can imagine it was pretty frustrating, especially with that kind of news, about the daughter. Now, Helen Correa of Ewa Beach was only 22 years old. Her body was found, but her killer was never caught. An Oahu sugar worker found Helen's clothed body in an irrigation ditch near Correa Road on October 8, 1984. She had been strangled. Okay. And Helen was also sexually assaulted. Now, her mother, Roby Correa, says she last saw her daughter the day before her body was found. Police told me she was picked up at the bus stop in Waipahu, and so I know it had to be someone she knew, because she would never go with strangers. Now, I couldn't go on Correa Road for a year because I just knew there was evil on that road, Roby Correa said. And the Honolulu police told her that they were going to reopen her daughter's case to try to solve it through new DNA testing and the re-examining of a polygraph test. They're hoping people will come forward with new information. We're going to be looking with fresh eyes, Homicide Detective Lieutenant Dina Tome said. And Correa hopes to finally have a closure. She was a beautiful young lady, she said at a news conference. I miss the fact that she never gave me any grandchildren. She didn't have that opportunity. Helen Correa was also a graduate of Campbell High School, 1980 graduate, and would have turned 62 this year, 2024, had her life not been cut short. Okay, so the easy part is knowing she rests in peace, said Roby Correa. But Roby Correa says she still has so many unanswered questions, like who killed her daughter and why. It must have been an accident. Why would anyone hurt her? She said, because she was special needs. She was handicapped mentally as well as physically. She wore a brace and she worked for Easter Seals. Roby Correa says under Honolulu Police Department Chief Louis Kealoha's administration, everything that was in the file for her daughter's case was resubmitted for testing on the mainland. The results were inconclusive. We're talking about DNA testing now. Okay, now they said it was negative. There was no evidence at all, Roby Correa said. Roby Correa said she misses her daughter's infectious laugh and the little quirks about her. When we go out to a restaurant to eat, she would order a salad and soup or something healthy. And then she would order a banana split, and she said that I saved all my calories for the dessert, she said. Okay, now she has a plea for the person who killed her daughter and or anyone who has information about the case. Come forth so that we can put this to rest, because it's been 40 years. It's a heavy burden for them to carry it. And I'm sure it would be a great relief to get that out of their heart and out of their shoulders, because it weighs down. Now she's buried, I believe, in Punch Bowl. And call 911 if you have any information that can help police solve this cold case murder. Now the thing about it is, one thing I'd like to mention is, it was just a little bit before the Honolulu serial killer who killed 5 women. He was accused of killing 5 women from 1985 to 86. So this is in 1984, but it was kind of like not very far from where those bodies were discovered, and they had been strangled and sexually assaulted also. So she could have been the very first victim of this Honolulu strangler. I wouldn't doubt it in this case. Okay, so because I believe one of the victims was found under the Waikele stream, so not very far from where she was found. So it could very well have been, she could have been the very first victim of the Honolulu strangler. I wouldn't doubt it. And with DNA testing, I'm surprised that they couldn't find anything on that. But anyway, it's another unsolved mystery, an unsolved murder of in Hawaii. So if you have information, please help. Call 911 or Crime Stoppers, and let's help solve and try and get this case solved. It's been 40 years now. A lot of these cases came from the 80s. Like, they didn't have DNA testing, but even with the DNA testing, this one was not solved. So anyway, that's so sad. But at least they found the body, so at least there's some closure. But hope you enjoyed this video. Mahalo for watching, and ahui ho.